Hello, this is Organization with Olu. Today I'm going to show you how you can score maximum marks in knowledge when you're doing an essay in economics. So stick around. I think you're going to like what I've got for you. Okay, we're going to go straight into a question. And I think that's probably the best way. A lot of my students say, oh, how do you start essays? The best way of starting an essay is to start with knowledge. You need to demonstrate your knowledge that you understand the question. Now, you're going to get different types of questions. Now, this, in terms of knowledge, you can write definitions as well, but definitions should not be the entire part of your knowledge. Your knowledge should show the examiner that you actually fully understand the question by linking economic concepts, by linking key terms, by linking theories. That's what you need to do from the beginning. You need to show the examiner that you understand the question. So let's go through this one. A barrel of oil has increased from $45 to $92 as a result of a sudden conflict that broke out in the Middle East. Evaluate the impact of this to the UK economy. So how do you start this essay? You start the essay with knowledge, okay? There's no specific clear definition here. I would then start like this. Okay, this is how I would start. Remember, your teacher might have a different way of starting, then follow your teacher. But this is just the way I would start, okay? As the UK is a net importer of oil, look at that. Showing knowledge straight away. Net importer of oil. A sudden supply shock. I shouldn't say business. Key economic terms, okay? A sudden supply shock, okay? Let's just get this out of the way. Regarding oil could potentially have a great impact to the UK economy. Look at how I've started. You start powerfully. So the examiner straight away knows you know what you're talking about, and you start getting knowledge marks straight away. The extract talks about a Middle East conflict. This would shift the supply curve SRAS upwards. Can you see I'm referring to the extract already? I'm scoring application marks as well. Very clever way of doing it, okay? So bear that in mind. I'm using the case study straight away. This will shift the SRAS curve upwards as there's a likely shortage of oil as the demand for oil is inelastic. Key term, very important, showing knowledge, okay, that you know that oil is pretty much inelastic. Therefore, this will result in demand exceeding the supply, which will increase the price substantially to SRAS1, as shown in my analysis diagram below. Make sure if you say that, you're gonna put it in your analysis diagram below. Do not forget, it needs to be there, okay? So I'm just explaining how the price has now gone up. Okay, I'm showing the examiner that I understand exactly what's going on. You're going to score top knowledge marks. Okay. Now I'm trying to explain. Okay, I'm trying to explain my knowledge of the economy. When there's a shortage of oil, what will happen into the economy? This would result in firms' cost of production in the UK increasing, as oil is used for a wide variety of things, such as petrol, which is needed for transportation throughout the UK. For example, on trains, buses, lorries, household vehicles. Okay, oil is also needed to operate machinery and make a variety of products. To say this sudden price hike could potentially have far-reaching consequences to the UK economy is an understatement. That's a great way of starting knowledge. Okay, so you've shown the examiner that you perfectly understand the question. You totally understand the question, and you're going to score maximum marks here, guys. I'm confident you're going to score maximum marks here. The next thing I would then do will be work out the percentage change. Work out the percentage change. After doing that, I will show the what the percentage change is, what this implies, and then I will start my analysis. Okay, that's what you need to do, guys. So let me show you another example of how you can approach a knowledge, how you can approach an essay, and how you score maximum knowledge marks. Okay, I put a robot here just to just to make sure you just don't take it from the textbook and put definition after definition after definition. Don't be robotic. Look at the question. Think about how can you show the examiner you perfectly understand the question. This time I've started off with a definition, which is fine. Just don't do definition after definition, but there's nothing wrong in putting a definition there, okay? So, question, pursuing economic growth will create far more conflicts than benefits for the macroeconomy in the UK. Evaluate this statement, okay? Now, how I've started this, Economic growth, started with the definition. Economic growth is a sustained increase in real GDP over time in the UK. It over time. Full stop. So I've put the definition there, which is great. Short definition, put it there, started off with my, that's how I started my question. If the UK pursues this major macro objective, it potentially could come at a cost to other macro objectives. In other words, the UK government is highly unlikely to achieve all macroeconomic objectives without a trade-off. See, I've shown the examiner that I understand. I'm paying attention to the question, conflicts. I'm showing the examiner that I understand what conflicts are. Okay. So that's the kind of key things you need to pick out in an exam. If your friend who doesn't do economics, think about what your friend, if your friend's asked to do this question, you do, and the person's going to define a particular thing. You don't want to be defining that thing. You want to do something that somebody who doesn't do economics will not know. So, for example, conflicts, to know there's going to be a trade-off, that is something that an economics student will know. Okay, so that's the kind of things you need to think about in terms of what you're going to be talking about and how you're going to be, and whether you define things or not. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, so it potentially could come at a cost to other macro objectives. In other words, the UK government is highly unlikely to achieve all macroeconomic objectives without a trade-off. The question that the UK government, and indeed all governments around the world, need to ask: is the trade-off worth it? Okay, I'm posing a good question here. Is the trade-off worth it? And I'm going to answer that question in the essay. Okay, so there are two types of economic growth: the short run and the long run. The short run economic growth is through increased AD, and the long run is taking the economy beyond the potential. In other words, shifting the LRAS to the right. So I've shown the examiner that I understand there's two types of economic growth. This is a great way of starting your essay and a great way of getting knowledge marks. Just remember, don't do definition after definition. Look for key terms that explains the question, so the examiner knows you actually fully understand what you're doing. Hopefully, guys, you've understood this. Please smash the like button. Let me know this is the kind of videos you want me to do. So smash the like button. I think I've got 195 subscribers. I've got 5 more to get to 200. So help me to do that one, okay? So I'm going to do a lot more of this. So please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.